Welcome to this new video, where we're going to talk a little bit about Forza Horizon 6. The game has been out for about 2 or 3 months at the time I'm making this video, and it's true that already, for a few weeks now, we've started to see a kind of feeling of boredom on social media. It's a bit of a general feeling about this Forza Horizon 6, with quite a few players, YouTubers, and streamers who are, quote-unquote, complaining that they've already seen everything the game has to offer, and simply that they've already moved on to something else. Well, that's not really the case for me personally. It's true that I play the game regularly. At least, I play it as regularly as I used to play Forza Horizon 5. I still make just as many videos about it, just as many streams. When I start live streams on the game, even though there aren't as many of us as when it first released, there are still a lot of us. In any case, definitely enough to regularly play multiplayer in full convoys. And that, I think that's still something pretty enjoyable. But still, it's true that objectively there's a problem with this Forza Horizon 6 in the long run. It's a game, where it's actually pretty hard to imagine how it's going to age. In this video, we're going to talk a bit about the overall state of Forza Horizon 6, and then we'll try to explain what the main problems of the game are that could explain the early fatigue players have felt about Forza Horizon 6. Of course, give me your opinion in the comments below this video. That's really what's super important for this kind of video, to know a bit about what you think. If it's a game you've grown bored of, or one you still enjoy playing nearly every day. And if, well, you're one of the players who are a bit bored, tell me in the comments what you think are the main reasons for that. And just to clarify, even though in this video we might mostly talk about the negative things about this Forza Horizon 6, I still think, and that's not going to change, I don't think it ever will, that this one probably offers the best graphics in the series, probably also the best driving feel, and probably also the best map. Clearly, the map in Forza Horizon 6 is excellent. For all these reasons, I think it's really one of the best Forza Horizon games to discover the Forza Horizon series. Clearly, if you're a new player and you've never played before, I think it's really a game where there's a lot to do. The real problems with this game are mostly felt if you're a player who's, let's say, already familiar with Forza Horizon. If you've already played Horizons 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, well, obviously, you notice the flaws in 6 much faster than when you're a new player. First, know that your boredom with Forza Horizon 6 is real and not just in your head. If you feel it, it's really something noticeable and even measurable, since Forza Horizon 6 on PC, on Steam for example, used to have peaks of 300,000 players at launch, which is huge. I mean, 300,000 simultaneous players just on Steam. That's massive. That means there were probably several million simultaneous players across all platforms combined. That's really huge. On the other hand, well, on Steam for example, 2 or 3 months after its release, we're down to only 25,000 to 30,000 concurrent players at most each day. I think there are very, very few games where the developers can brag about managing to have the same number of players 2 months after release as on launch day. It's true that there are about 10 times fewer players now. And the second number, for me, maybe that's the most worrying part. A second number, or rather a second graph that I'm showing you on the screen. The real problem for me is this. Even though at launch it took off faster than Forza Horizon 5 you see, that's the little yellow curve. Horizon 5 is the little pink one on the image I'm going to show you. Horizon 5 soon surpassed it in player numbers. The two games didn't launch simultaneously. Horizon 6 came out just before summer. And we know that in the summer, well, it's not really the time when most players are ready to play on their console or buy the new game. Whereas Horizon 5 was released just before Christmas, so of course, that gives it a bit of a boost. But still, it's the first time in Forza's history that a game from this franchise has come out, and hasn't really done better than all the previous ones. There you go. Quite simply, Horizon 6 really had a phenomenal, exceptional launch. But then, the player curve is actually higher on Horizon 5 than on Horizon 6. And that's really over the same cumulative period, meaning 2 to 3 months. So Horizon 6 had more day one hype, but Horizon 5 sustained excitement longer, at least early on. We'll see if that changes in the next few months. It still deserves the benefit of the doubt. Now, if the trend doesn't reverse and players keep, let's say, gradually leaving Forza Horizon 6, what could be the main reasons? The first problem for me is that the communication around Forza Horizon 6 is actually kind of bad. With Horizon 5, they may have gone overboard, but Horizon 6 felt random and made little sense. With Horizon 5, before the game was released, the developers used to do live streams for about 45 minutes to an hour, once a week. Every day there was new information about the game. Every week there was really a focus on certain aspects of the game, like customization, graphics, and driving. All of that happened before the game was even released. That way, we were all super hyped, and we were all really happy to see news about the game almost every day. Honestly, it really built up the hype overall and made it really strong. But with Horizon 6, well, they went with a slightly different approach in their communication. They chose a communication strategy where only a few official gameplay videos were released. There were one or two short 10-minute gameplay videos, a few written interviews with the developers with some new info, and that's where it ended. Additionally, I personally blame them for not working with the right people to promote the game. I think they made a huge mistake by working with YouTube channels like IGN to promote the game. Because IGN, yeah, it's a really big channel, they have a huge following. But it's not at all a channel that's specialized in racing games. For them, whether they're playing The Sims, Call of Duty, or Forza the next day, it's exactly the same thing. I think if they had considered more Forza YouTubers, for example, I don't know, AR12 Black Penta, if Forza had promoted the game through Forza YouTubers from each country instead of generalists, communication around the game would have been very different. We would have had passionate Forza experts who know the franchise inside out, who would often have shared information about the game, and maybe a bit more precise information, more important information for the Forza fanbase, which they didn't do. They didn't communicate much, they relied on people who don't necessarily have, let's say, incredible experience with racing games. And on top of that, since the game was released, well, we no longer have Turban Tuesday or Forza Monthly. That was something that worked really well on Horizon 5. Actually, back in the Horizon 5 days, every time a new season came out in the game, the developers would do a 45-minute to 1-hour livestream where they answered questions from the chat and revealed what was new in the update, like the new cars. They would also tease a bit about the new features coming in the next few months. That's completely gone with Forza Horizon 6 now. Update announcements are just a few images and lines of text on official sites. We have nothing, let's say, that really brings the community together, and we also don't have Turban Tuesday anymore. It was a cool little thing. The developers actually used to have a format a week or two before the updates were announced. They made puzzles, they posted pictures on the internet, short bits of text, which got the community involved a bit. We tried to work together, make videos, do streams, or simply on the Reddit forums, people would get hyped up every week to figure out what these clues could mean. They tried to guess in advance what the theme of the next update would be, and what the next cars would be. Well, that doesn't exist either. So, let's say that with Forza Horizon 6, well, they kind of messed up the communication before the game's release, and they removed from communication around Forza Horizon 6 the two things that, let's say, really motivated the community to regularly gather around events that were scheduled in advance. And so, I think there's a kind of declining hype about the upcoming events in Forza Horizon 6. So, maybe once again, it's because of the game's schedule. It was released in the summer when the Forza Horizon team is usually on vacation, so they might not do live streams until things resume in September. Still, in the meantime, it's hard to keep the hype alive for a game where there's not really any communication. And on top of that, when there is communication, it's not always amazing. Remember, we discussed this just a few weeks ago. They're not necessarily handling the game's release very well, especially when it comes to dealing with cheating, managing bans, and handling in-game currency credits. They're punishing everyone to some extent. The game's economy uses collective punishments, so even non-glitchers are affected just like those who exploited or cheated. So far, there haven't been too many bans for cheats or glitches. There have just been, let's say, reductions in AFK farming for everyone. There were limits on how much money you could have in your account that were applied to everyone at the same time. There were game modes that were removed overnight because they felt they were giving out too much. And now, on Forza Horizon 6 since Season 3, when you farm money in an event, well, you can't earn more than 500,000 at the end of an event, even if you did 800 laps and it really lasted for hours and hours. Just like you can't farm progress points anymore, just like you can't use autonomous driving anymore. In fact, there are a lot of systems in the base game that were designed by the developers to be used, but players can't use them. The communication about the game is really strange right now, and Forza Horizon 6's crises are being handled very poorly. Additionally, the first 2 or 3 seasons of the game aren't very good either. That's something I kind of hold against Forza Horizon 6 because with the previous Forza Horizon games, 3, 4, 5, when they came out, in the first few months after release, there were really big things added to the game, like major events. This kept people talking about the game longer, creating more buzz and lasting hype. Whereas now, once again, maybe it's because of the schedule. Maybe it's because the game is released in the summer, and historically, the summer updates for Forza Horizon have been absolutely terrible, whether we're talking about Horizon 4 or Horizon 5. And it's true that the first 3 seasons of the game, the launch seasons, they're not great. I had the chance to talk about it in another dedicated video. Season 1 only 4 or 5 new cars, but among them, almost all are returning from previous Forza Horizon games. I think there's only one truly new car. Same for Season 2 and now for Season 3, which we're on, so I can show you more closely. Well, it seems to me that the only truly new cars are the Lamborghini Temerario and the Lamborghini Huracan Evo Spider. Everything else returns from previous Forza Horizon games. So it's content that players of Forza Horizon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 already know very well, including players of Forza Motorsport. And well, obviously, since we don't have much to add to the game right from the start, the excitement dies down pretty quickly. When there aren't, let's say, big event updates right from the start with 10 or 12 genuinely new cars. Obviously, players wonder why they would go back to Forza Horizon 6 to spend time unlocking a car they can already play with in Horizon 4 or Horizon 5 without any hassle. We have a few launch seasons that aren't great, though Season 3 is slightly better, mainly because the paid DLC from the update is good. The Italian car pack is good, and the cars are objectively good. But let's say the free content isn't exceptional either. So there aren't any big new features for now. On top of that, they still removed a lot of content from this Forza Horizon 6 so they could sell it back as updates. In Seasons 1, 2, and 3, I think at least 20 cars have returned to the game as recycled content that we already had in Horizon 5 or Horizon 4. These models were removed ahead of time. While Horizon 6 offers more customization than Horizon 5, it's still not enough for us to fully enjoy rediscovering familiar cars from Horizon 5 or Horizon 4. For example, a few weeks ago, we could unlock the Mercedes-AMG GTR. It's a good car, it's nice, but we've already had it in Forza since Horizon 4. However, since it lacks new customization and overall upgrades, it doesn't offer much new. Well, what's the fun for a longtime Forza player to unlock this car again? To spend time unlocking it again in Forza Horizon 6? Just to end up with exactly the same thing? Sure, with better graphics, yes, with more details, but overall there really aren't many new things to try out. Logging into the game every Thursday to unlock a car already available in all other franchise games isn't very motivating since there's nothing new. I get if base cars in the game aren't highly customizable, though there may be more options than in Horizon 5. But for me, it's about the cars returning in the festival selection, recycled from Horizon 5, deliberately removed from Horizon 6, then re-added in a later update. For me, all those cars should have at least 1 or 2 extra body kits compared to Horizon 5, so that we at least have a little surprise, something to do with those cars. We want to make them more unique and give us some element of surprise, which we currently lack. Maybe the first updates aren't great because it's summer, but things will get crazy later. Still, for now, it's not amazing. Since it's the same for us longtime players, the festival playlist system is exactly as in Horizon 4 and Horizon 5. You have to earn points every week with challenges that are very similar. It's exactly the same setup. So, some people like it, some people don't. Personally, I don't mind it. I think having something regular like this isn't necessarily a bad thing. That's just how I see it. I know there are some people who would really prefer to have maybe fewer challenges, but something new, something really big to do every week or maybe every month. And that's a point of view I can understand. But in any case, what's certain is that if you didn't like the festival playlist system in Horizon 4 or Horizon 5, if you didn't enjoy it, well, you'll find the same thing in Horizon 6. You clearly won't like it any better. So there's a feeling of weariness coming back with this Forza Horizon 6, for exactly the same reason we felt that weariness with Horizon 5 when compared to Horizon 4. It's that we're driving the same cars with the same customizations to unlock in the same way, with exactly the same pace and the same events. So, really, that's part of the Forza Horizon formula for me, once again. Discovering this Forza Horizon 6 as your first Forza Horizon is absolutely amazing. Overall, the game is fantastic. If you know the system from Horizon 4 and Horizon 5, this is just the same with a new map. For me, that's another issue with this game, and it's something I already criticized when Forza Horizon 5 came out, and I think it's too late to fix it for Forza Horizon 6. Well, all we can do now is cross our fingers for Forza Horizon 7. But I think with Forza Horizon 6 we were given too much, too quickly. What I mean by that is, it's a game where there's still a lot to do, overall. There are a lot of game modes, there are a lot of activities, but everything was available on day one. Personally, I think it would have been a much better idea to compartmentalize the game's activities a bit, so that they could be added to the game regularly. For example, I would have preferred if it wasn't all released on day one. Well, we could have just had the traditional races, street races, road races, off-road and all that, but just the classic races, without necessarily having the stories, the eliminator, or the other modes, so that these could be added gradually. They could have taken advantage of Season 1, for example, to do something focused on drifting, where they add the drift story, the Horizon Drift multiplayer, and, for example, the drift zones on the minimap, adding them all at once to make a special drift season so we really have a new type of activity to unlock. The next month, they could have added drag meets and drag events to the game, then brought back the Eliminator the following month. Remember, like back in the days of Horizon 4 when the Eliminator came out, it was crazy, really. It was like a whole new game was added to the game. Seriously, people loved it. It created an insane amount of hype. The thing is, now the Eliminator is available right from the start in the game, mixed in with all the other game modes. It doesn't really stand out. As a result, playing the Eliminator in the game is now completely ordinary. For instance, if the Eliminator had been reintroduced in Season 4, with Season 1 there were special cars, the next season, other cars in the Eliminator. Season 3, more new cars, and so on. Changing the car theme directly in the Eliminator or hide-and-seek modes would have been much cooler. Available from day one, this mode is completely overlooked, even though it's objectively better than in Horizon 5. It's a mode that deserved to be added in Season 5 as part of a themed update. The game includes many elements, building blocks, challenges, and activities that didn't have to be there from the start. To be added little by little, not to remove content before and add it back later, as is the case, for example, with the cars. But simply so that we all have time, let's say, to discover all the activities and to do them all, little by little. Instead of adding everything at once, which spreads players across many activities and leaves car meets a bit empty. Imagine, for example, if the car meets had been added in an update in Season 3, 4, 5, whatever. I think the car meets would have been packed for quite a while, whereas now, well, there's nobody at the car meets for the simple reason that at the same time, there are players doing the Illuminator, there are players doing the stories, and there are players doing rivals. There are so many activities in the game that the fan base is completely scattered, completely split up into different types of activities. And as a result now, since they've already, let's say, played their biggest card in the game, modes like the Illuminator, Hide and Seek, the new property, the reworked Event Club, now that everything is already in the game, well, we can start asking ourselves, aside from the big expansions, what major new feature will really bring the community back to the game and what will really, let's say, bring a lot more players back. After 3 or 4 months of playing Forza Horizon 6, my opinion is that the graphics are incredible, the physics are great, and the car sounds are good. There's more customization than in Horizon 5, and the map is amazing. But we have a game where the developers haven't really reevaluated what they're doing. In fact, you can criticize Horizon 6 for the same mistakes as Horizon 5. The game uses the exact same formula, that's one thing. Well, Forza Horizon will always be a Forza Horizon. You see, it's not going to become Fortnite, it's not going to become Call of Duty, it's not going to become GTA either. Forza Horizon has a formula that hasn't changed since Forza Horizon 1. It worked well, except that for some reason, in Horizon 4, Horizon 5, and Horizon 6, they made exactly the same mistakes. Mistakes that players have pointed out many times. And even if they've listened to us on a lot of things, there are plenty of cars in the game because we asked for them, and quite a few elements were reworked because we asked for them. There are still issues like that where you don't understand why the developers refuse to rethink their approach, even though it's a really important part of the game. To me, Horizon 6 will still be a success. It's still going to be a game where we've passed the 10 million player mark. It's a game that still has activities. It's a game that will probably have 3, 4, or even 5 years of support. It's a game that's already profitable because with 10 million players, even if many came through Game Pass, we know that Xbox said the game had already become profitable just 1 month after its release. So, you see, it's not a franchise that's in danger at that level. The franchise isn't in danger, you know what I mean? Forza Horizon isn't going to shut down because the game doesn't make enough money. It makes more than enough to keep going. But it's a game that finds itself in a bit of a paradoxical situation because, well, it's a big deal. Forza Horizon is an institution, but at the same time, it's become such a big thing, and they really don't want to take risks anymore. So taking even a small risk would force them to make choices that might make the next game in the series a little less popular. We've got an incredible formula. That's the game's signature. But at the same time, I think this formula is also starting to prematurely bore a good part of the players who are part of the hardcore Forza Horizon fanbase. Those who have been following since Forza Horizon 1, 2, 3, or 4. Still, we shouldn't just blame the game's developers. We also have to remember that it's 2026 now, and in 2026 we don't play games the same way at all anymore. For me, the main reason for this is Game Pass. Now, people don't buy games anymore, they play through subscription services. Clearly, paying for a subscription with access to 500 games is different from buying just 3 or 4 full-price games a year. We're more tempted than before to grind a game when it comes out, to spend 50 hours on it all at once and then go try another game. Since a new one just released on Game Pass, people may rush instead of taking time to fully enjoy the game. That's it. So, since there are new games on Game Pass every day, obviously, someone who gets the subscription, they didn't get it just to play Forza Horizon, they got it to play Forza Horizon and a bunch of other things. And that, obviously, well, it fragments game fan bases a little. And people spend less time on a game, simply because, well, there's a whole bunch of new things coming out at the same time on the same subscription. There are also many more games releasing now than a few years back. Remember 15 or 20 years ago when a game like Forza Horizon launched? It was the event of the year. There weren't as many games coming out. So now, obviously, since there are a lot of indie games, since there are a lot of studios making a lot of games now, well, Forza Horizon isn't just competing with 1 or 2 games anymore. It's in direct competition with about 10 games. Sometimes games that have been out for a long time and keep getting updates, and that counts too. So, I think there are things that are really part of this Forza Horizon, which are kind of the reasons for this fatigue. But I also think that, well, the way we play games in 2026 is also a bit different. Not responsible for this fatigue, but it's kind of responsible for this, the drop-off in Forza Horizon 6's servers compared with Horizon 5. So, let me know what you think in the comments. But that's what I think. What if we didn't use the same festival selection system and had more customization for the new cars? And if we had 2 or 3 launch seasons for the game that were really exceptional with, well, the game's major content arriving gradually instead of everything being available day 1, let's say. I think maybe the game would have had a slightly weaker start, but I think we'd have a game that would seem less tiring, and that it would have a player count progression curve that would be quite different as well. Let me know what you think in the comments. Anyway, as I said at the beginning of this video, I'm not tired of Forza Horizon. I still play it regularly. I go for little drives on my own, and sometimes we play multiplayer together. So, of course, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel to keep up with Forza Horizon news, because I'll keep talking to you about new things in the game regularly. Follow me on Twitch, where I often stream Forza Horizon, especially if you like car meets and that kind of thing. Well, we manage to organize car meets that regularly fill up, and we even do several convoys in the same evening. That way, everyone gets a chance to play a bit. And if you like car meets, a bit of RP driving, themed driving, or anything like that, feel free to follow me on Twitch for that kind of stuff, because I do it a lot. Follow me and use your Prime. Don't forget to use my link below to support my channel and get games at a discount. It's appreciated and saves you money. And well, see you tomorrow for the next video with hopefully a more positive theme. Have a good evening, everyone. Bye.